Run us down with the first time that you got some work. How was that experience, man?
Man, I didn't know what I was doing. You know,
Come on now.
I was a tennis player
Okay.
stepping into the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like I had never been in the streets before. I mean, I grew up in the hood,
Right,
but
right,
I started playing tennis at like 13, and that kind of took me away from. I mean, I lived in South Central, but I wasn't of
right.
South Central.
Gotcha.
Most of my time was spent on the tennis court. Um, I wasn't doing the thing that my brothers was doing and my cousins. They was all in the streets already.
Oh, no.
But I was, in a whole nother world, which I feel aided me in the long run because from tennis I learned discipline. I
Right.
learned that, you can't do what you want to do and get to where you're trying to get to. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. You have to say, you know what, I ain't going to the party. I ain't going to the theater tonight. I'm gonna work on my trade.
That's right.
And when I got in the dope game, it was the same way. The homies, when we all started out on the same level. Matter of fact, a couple of the homies was ahead of me,
Wow.
because they had more money than I did. So they was already ahead of me. But I talk about in my book too, two of my homeboys who I brought them into the coke game. One was selling weed, one was selling PCP, and they already, when I started, they had $20,000-$30,000 already stacked.
Mm.
But when I brought them into the coke game, I told them, okay, you selling PCP, you only getting it $10 at a time. I'm getting mine $100 at a time because at that time I didn't sell nothing less than $100. If you didn't have $100, you couldn't come get no coke from me.
What year was this?
Probably like 80, up until 81, 82. When we started to change a little bit, we would sell a little cheaper. But at that time, if you didn't have $100, don't even think about buying no coke.
Ah.
You couldn't buy no coke. $10. I mean, I remember the first time I heard somebody selling a $5 rock. Man, I said like, what? A $5 rock? What that look like?
Where do we start?
Yeah. So the discipline from tennis gave me an advantage over my friends. They didn't have that discipline because when I first started, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke. When I started selling coke, I never even saw weed before. Yeah, I never saw weed.
You was a straight athlete.
I was trying to be. I thought tennis was gonna get me out the ghetto. You know how when we're young, the main thing you want to do is get out the ghetto. That's what everybody talking about. Man, how can I get out the ghetto? Not understanding like I do now is that we don't want to get out the ghetto. We want to build the ghetto up.
Come on now.
Total different mindset than what I had before. But I thought tennis was gonna be my way out. So I was putting all my eggs in one basket.
Man, did you meet Serena and Venus?
I met them when they was like 12 years old. My oldest kids played tennis. I had a whole little tennis squad that I was sponsoring.
Come on now.
Yeah, I had about 8 or 9 kids, and Venus and Serena would come over to Rancho where they practice at, because it's hard to get practice. It's like basketball, any other sport. You need somebody to go up against to get better. You can't get better just playing by yourself or playing with bums. You want somebody tough. So I had a couple kids that was really good before I went to prison. But once I went to prison, they didn't have anybody to do the things that I was doing. Back to that discipline again, That discipline, man. Without discipline, there's really nothing.
For real. It's all mental and physical.
Yeah, you all over the place without the discipline. You all over the place.
Right.
You just gonna do whatever. Like and I ain't picking on alcoholics and nothing like that. But
right.
Like somebody getting sloppy drunk. No discipline.
Off your game.
They don't have enough discipline to say. Some people can say, I'm gonna take one shot, I'm done. But then you got the ones that they just can't stop. They just keep going and keep going and keep going. No discipline.
Functioning.
And that go with everything though.
I swear.
Without being able to say, I'm gonna stop right here, or I'm gonna keep going and whatever. If it's a workout, then you got to keep going. I'm workout in. I'm gonna do my running. I'm gonna do my exercise. I'm gonna do all the things that it take to get to that next level. Well, when I got in the dope game, these guys didn't have that type of discipline. You know, they didn't have the discipline to say, you know, like I was telling you about my two partners. When we all got up to like, I was at my first 16,000, and I don't know where they was at in their game because they was ahead of me at first, but both of them went and bought brand new cars, and them brand new cars really turned them into my workers. They became my workers because what happened is I went and bought a pound of Coke, and with that pound of Coke, when they got ready to re-up, they were still buying like 4 ounces of Coke. I was buying a pound of Coke. So they wanted to go re-up. It was my connect. So they want to go re-up. So I called a connect. Hey, my man want to get, and this is when I was green.
Right.
I said, my man want to get 4 ounces. He said, sell it to him.
You got a pound, which is 16 ounces, not even a half a bird at that time. So they was playing on you too. They was playing on your top too.
Man,
what was the price for a pound, which is 16 ounces for you people that ain't never been
like
on
30,
this level?
I was paying like 30,000.
Whoa,
Yeah, I was paying like
that's
30,000.
too short of a half a brick. So 60,000 was the number on the joint.
It was more than that because you looking at 30. And then they took out the extra 4. You know, you got an extra 4 in there. When you get 2 pounds and 4 ounces.
Yeah, you weren't getting the 2.2. You was just getting 2 pounds.
Taking out 4. He told me it was crazy when my man who I first started with, when I got out of prison, I was trying to get an interview with him, and he had got paralyzed. His wife shot him in the back, and he was laying in his bed. And when we was talking to him, he was laughing about how I didn't know what a kilo was, so they kept me stuck on pounds.
Whoa!
So they could get them extra 4 ounces. But yeah, I mean, you know, the first ounces I bought, I paid $2,800 for an ounce.
Oh my God! Ooh,
well, I could make 9,000 off of it.
And this is before y'all not selling rocks at this time, though. Y'all selling powder.
You know, people was rocking it up. A few people was rocking it up. Most people was nosing it then, though.
Okay.
You know, powdering their nose.
So it wasn't affecting your hood yet at this time. In the 80s, it was like pimps and players.
That's all. Doctors, lawyers.
Socially accepted.
Ike Turner, you know, those type of people was getting down at that time. You know, wasn't no welfare mamas. You know, they couldn't afford it. You know, the welfare check was, you know, probably $200 for the whole month. You know, so
and then each pop was $100 lick each time you did what you did. Yeah. Oh yeah, they wasn't affording that right there.
Yeah, it took a while.
But he get on.
It took a while before they got hip to it.